Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here. Welcome back to PrimeCraft Season 2, and I've just come back from being AFK at the Community Farms area. Just checking on how these are doing. Yeah, this is all the way full again. I have actually added, I don't know if I've shown this on camera, but I've added all the way up to here. So all 27 of the melon shulker boxes are now in the system and are completely full, and that system is already dumping stuff into the item destroyer, I guess. And all of these are slowly filling up with the rest of them, so that's pretty good. So one thing I've done off camera, and if you don't remember last episode, we built this system down here, this shulker box loader, and I made one small change to it. Before, we had the comparator reading the shulker box here, putting into the torch tower that came up kind of on this side, right up against this, and that wasn't a problem. What was a problem was having the shulker box, or I'm sorry, having the comparator right here left this opening. So I saw one time a shulker box just floating on top of the comparator because the system triggered, the piston fired, it broke it, but instead of getting picked up by the hopper minecart, it was far enough over this way that it was just floating here. And luckily I saw it, and I haven't seen any other shulker boxes do that, so I'm pretty sure we're all good. They're all accounted for. But so what I've done to fix that is I've moved the viewing platform over here, and now on the other side where the viewing place was, I actually have the same comparator system set up, but it's now pulling from a block. Because if you remember, comparators can read, I guess I could just still jump down here. Comparators can read through a block. So it allows me to have a solid block here, and this is now completely closed in. So no more shulker boxes should be just floating around here. So that's all sorted out. Of course, the button to manually fire it is over here. That's unfortunate. I'd rather have it right by the viewing box, but you know, what are you gonna do? But we are not gonna be messing with that today. I've got some other things that I want to be doing. We're coming over to the house here, and as you see, I have spent some time in the nether hunting some wither skulls. It took a very, very long time, but I eventually got all 9 I needed to have 3 more. So I have a triple beacon over by the house. And speaking of the house, look, I know that I am not a very good builder, but even I can do better than this. This is not very good, you guys. And I've known it almost immediately after I finished building it. I was like, this is not very good. So I like go out of my way to not really show it on camera that much, but I don't know. This is not good. So we are going to rebuild this house. I am probably going to end up having to move the furnaces down there, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. I'm probably going to use the same type of material, so the same color scheme and whatnot, but it's going to be a much different house, and it's going to start by tearing it down. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I got a chance to play around with the replay mod a little bit, and yeah, that's what I came up with. I think I've got at least the basics more or less figured out. So yeah, the old house is gone, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy about that. I was a little embarrassed of it. It just wasn't very good for lots and lots of reasons, but this build is going to be inspired by a recent Grian video he made and showed off a beach house, and it was less about how to build the beach house and more like the process he used to kind of figure it out. And I thought, you know, with a few adjustments, maybe it would look good up here, and I messed around in creative mode a bit just to kind of see, and yeah, I think it's going to look pretty cool. This is already a little bit weird though. This storage area is a bit bigger than what I built in creative, so what I'm actually going to end up doing is adjusting slightly what I've got already laid out. So you can see all these pillars, and these would mark the edges basically, and that's kind of the way you build this thing. There would be another one out there actually if I was going to keep doing this, but yeah, so you would basically mark up all these pillars in kind of like a big cross shape. You can see there's one there, there's one on the corners of that. So these all kind of define like big squares. As I said, there'd be another one. And that you would basically either build, you know, leave open for like a balcony type thing, or you could close it off for like, you know, various purposes. You could build like a storage room or whatever you want, you know. And I'm like, cool. So I built one out in creative, and I kind of liked it, so I started doing it here, and this is just way too big. Part of my problem with the old house was that it had such big open spaces, and I didn't really know what to do with them, so I want to limit that. And the way this is set up now, I mean, this inner square is as big as the old house would have been. So, you know, it would have the exact same problem. So what I'm thinking is actually I want to come out and split this. Instead of make this like one side, this is actually going to be two spots. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and this is 11. So if I come right here, and then we'll make up another pillar right here. So this is actually going to be where the corner now of the main square would be, and I think we line it up here and there. Yep, so right there. So we just cut out a whole lot of this. This house is going to be a lot smaller. I can like remove this now. You know what, why don't I kind of mark this out a little bit better so y'all know what I'm talking about. So from up here you can see it a lot better now that I've filled it in with netherrack. So we've got this main square, and then these like 4 side squares, and of course this section of the storage that we're on is actually over the opposite corner, right? So we're actually on a corner over here, and then this part here is like a side square. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to obviously fill in some walls down here and define some rooms. Down here at this level, I believe I'm just going to seal this off and then add a small room around here, and build probably actually like a stable over here, and then leave this area kind of open because it'll look cool, and then you'll see. So let me build some stuff up, and I'll come back to you guys with an update. Okay, quick little progress update here. This is looking significantly different now, but in my opinion, a lot better, especially because I know what's coming. So yeah, for reference, we've still got the very same storage room. It's just, you know, a little bit different, you know, smaller, a bit narrower, and we've got it walled in. This is going to be a stable area once I kind of figure out exactly what I want to do up here, and we'll move the horse, and we'll move this stuff out here. We've got this room in here, which is probably going to be like a workshop of some kind. We'll have our brewing station and anvils and stuff in here. And, of course, we'll have access to the super smelter downstairs. And then out here, we'll come up the stairs, and this is where I'm at now. So I'm kind of up here, and we're going to figure out, well, you know, a lot of these actually are going to be balconies, and then some of these are going to be rooms. And obviously, I think this big middle guy here is going to be a room. It's going to be the bedroom. And I'm thinking, since we've already kind of got, 2 rooms over here, and this is where we come up with the stairs over there to put another room here for sure. And that might be all we need. Not really sure. I mean, I can't really think of any reason to have other rooms, but yeah, then we can kind of cover all the balcony / walkway patio areas up here, and it'll look pretty cool. So let me go ahead and keep working here on getting these walls in place so we can get a better idea of what we want to do. Alright, so walls are in place, roofs are in place, these rooms are pretty much good to go. Of course, the windows and stuff, it's all subject to change as I come through here and finalize the stuff. So the next thing I want to do is get the coverings on all of the open areas. So like over here and up here, and how I'm going to do most of these is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to frame it in with the logs that I've been using, which is dark oak, of course. And then I'm actually going to put a roof of signs, as I think that actually looks pretty neat. Like, you come through here, right? Like, this one don't look like nothing really, the first one. But once you start putting them in here, you get this, I don't know. I don't even know what you would call it, but it almost just looks like an incomplete kind of, I don't know, like wood frame ceiling to it, kind of. And I think it's really cool looking. I would prefer it if these signs were not so bright, and I've tried this with trapdoors, but trapdoors, it just, the effect is different. I don't like it nearly as much. So this is the better way to go. And the cool thing about these is that I don't know if it'll stop the rain actually, but it also does not stop you. So like I could take off with my elytra through this thing, so I don't actually need a dedicated like elytra platform. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna keep working on these, and I'll come back to you guys in a second. Nice, it does stop the rain. Alright, so the balconies are pretty much done. I got all the signs in place, all of the trapdoors in place, and these trapdoors in the ceiling for this corner, because I wasn't sure if I wanted the signs to go that way, or if I wanted them to go that way. And that just seemed like, you know, the compromise. So the thing I really like about these is that because they're signs, you can fly through them. And I can land through them, so I don't actually have to have a dedicated, you know, elytra launching platform. I did include this fence gate in case anybody on the server, you know, doesn't have as good a ping as me, and they're here and they want to leave, they can still jump off the side and activate it that way. So that's pretty cool. So this is coming along pretty nicely. I think the next thing we got to do though is get a roof on here, and I am not very good at doing roofs, so I think I'm just going to mess around with some stairs. It's probably going to be pretty generic, at least to start with. So I'm going to put some stairs down, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so the roof is in place, and it's looking alright. It's, you know, it's real simple, but I think it'll do the job. Might come in and actually extend the top out just a little bit more at some point, but yeah, I think it's looking all right. I actually kind of think that right now just the house in general looks better when you approach it from this way, just because this face is open right here. But you know, I think actually one of the things that will help that when you approach from the actual front, which is here, will be to get rid of this giant hill right here. Alright, so this hill's been removed, and I think I was right. I think it does look a lot better when you approach it from the ground floor rather than up here on the second story. And I was considering kind of leaving this stone and stuff in place because, you know, over here it is kind of like extreme hills, so there's this stone section that runs down the side. But this was all grass, and if you look on the side here, this is all grass too, mostly. So think I'm actually just going to smooth this out a little bit more and then replace all this stone with grass. Yeah, that's much nicer looking. Alright, so that's all filled in. We got some nice looking grass. We'll obviously do some real landscaping eventually. But if we come up over in this direction, I don't think I really like this roof. I mean, I know we just put it on, but coming from that angle, it definitely looked like it could stand to be a bit taller. From right here, it definitely looks like it could be bigger. From over here, it doesn't look terrible, but it could, basically from every angle I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I think that it should be bigger. The reason I didn't want to make a big, huge roof is because, well, I didn't want to have a massive space up there, but I've got a big space up there anyway, so I think making one that's a little bit bigger won't be that big of a deal. Okay, redid the roof, and yeah, I think that that's looking a lot better. It's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more extended out, it's more pronounced, you can see it better from other areas. I think it looks pretty good. I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. Around here on the stable area, I don't know if y'all noticed, I did add a fence, so we kind of have a back door into the house area, kind of. Yeah, my dog Derp, Rufus, Chloe. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. I did some testing in a creative world and verified that mobs will not spawn on those trapdoors. At least according to the test I did. I made a dark room and they won't spawn. So that's pretty cool. However, I do want to get rid of some of these torches that are on these beams, like that one that you can just kind of see. And add some more details. And of course, we've got to actually move into these rooms, because right now, I mean, other than this one and this one, they're just big empty spaces. Alright guys, the house is pretty much done. Let's kind of take a look around and see what I did. So the storage room hasn't changed a whole lot. We got some glowstone in the ceiling. I did add another ender chest over on this end. The stable area, I've got a donkey now. I went and found one. He was hanging out up there, up on top of that hill. I saw him and went and grabbed him. So now these guys are hanging on here. I swapped out the slabs down here for fence posts. I don't know if y'all remember, but this slab trick used to work where even though there was 2 blocks of space here and they should be able to fit through, because it was like a half a block of space on this one and half a block here, their AI wouldn't let them walk through, or they didn't realize they could. But I think they must have fixed that, or like maybe it's a bucket thing or something. But yeah, they walked right out of there, so I replaced it with fence. And I've got a little chest here with some items we might need. So that's all looking pretty nice. The workshop area also has glowstone in the ceiling. I went ahead and moved my food storage in here. I've got my brewing stations with the stuff that I would need to brew up those potions. And some manual furnaces here if I want them. Of course, I've got this super smelter right down here, which is pretty easy to get to. It's not the easiest to get out of, I suppose. Maybe I should stick those on the other side. Actually, that would probably help. So if we run up here, upstairs, you can see I've got the doorway changed a little bit. It's a little more fancy. I've got some paintings, some general decorations. I've got beds. I've got a jukebox with the 2 records that I own sitting in a shulker box there. I've got a little desk and a sofa. And here is the library, excuse me, with the enchantment table here in the middle. I've got access up to the attic area here, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with this right now. I might just leave it for a while, and then if I ever come up with an idea of like, hey, this would be nice to have by the house, but where should I put it? We can hide it in the attic, so who knows what that's going to be. But yeah, this is a balcony along with pretty much everything else. And yeah, as you can see, you can take off right through those signs, which is why I really like it. So yeah, you guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call the house done and call that an episode. So if you liked it, go ahead and leave me a like, leave me a comment down below for sure. Definitely let me know what you think of the new house, and if you've got any suggestions for things I could add or change to make it better. And if you want to see more these PrimeCraft videos, go ahead and subscribe down below, and check out the other PrimeCrafters. They're in the description as always. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye bye.